Hello, good evening. My name is Mark, and you're in Mark's Adventures. Have you ever had those times when you start looking into something and you fall down a rabbit hole and you think to yourself, how did that all start? And I've had a few of those. In fact, it's been going on for some time now, some years. And the thing is, it comes with some very difficult things to deal with. Decisions that one has to make, because if you got accurate information, the right thing to do is to act on it, right? So, if you're doing something wrong and it doesn't work out, you don't keep doing the wrong thing again, because that just perpetuates the wrong outcome. And as we've been told from the brightest of minds, that to carry on doing the same thing and expecting a different result is insanity. And every time you look at your TV and you put on the news, there's a perfect example of insanity. People doing the same things, saying the same things over and over again, expecting the same results. People voting for the same political parties, expecting something different. It won't work. It's not what they're there for. And when you go down those rabbit holes and you look a bit further and you see what the reality is, and you think, that's what it is. That's where it's, that's the whole point of the exercise, is to learn. That's what we're here for. On this little globe. Yes, it is a globe. It's not flat. It's not a dome. It's a globe. Okay? End of. That's what we're here on this globe for, spinning round a sun. We are here because we're here to learn. And what we're here to learn is truth and reality. And the first thing you need to do to start learning that is go over to that box in the corner with the talking heads and turn it off. Just turn it off, because nothing you'll find on there is going to help you grow. In fact, it's all set up to stop your growth. If you go in your kitchen and you look at products and you start reading them, you find out, my God, what's in this? What does it do? You start looking up things. I remember looking at a product once. This is some years ago. And looking at the ingredients and starting to look them up. And I thought, wow. At the time, I'd been a chef cooking. And I'd be looking at products and things that I used in a day-to-day situation of cooking food for other people in a kitchen, and realised that the amounts of those particular ingredients in the regulation or regular use of that kind of ingredient over so many years, I was poisoning people and poisoning myself. And it went on and on and on, and the more you look, the more you see, and the more you have to change. And eventually what happens is you start finding you're a different person. And you look at the world you're in and you think, my God, it's not what I thought. It's nothing like what I thought it was. And then you start on a journey of investigation and mental, physical, emotional maturity. And if you get it right, it turns out okay. we need to move along that road. And when we see others stumbling, don't just walk past. Give them a hand up too. Come with me, mate. Come with me. We're going this way. And you mention things to them. So don't take my word for it. Check it out. Look it up. And the more you go through it, the more you find. And now and again, up pops a figure. And they're like someone who's a directory. Excuse me. And they'll point you in a certain direction. And say, check that out. Or, have you read this book? Or, do you know about this? And have you thought about that? And those people aren't there by accident, you know. They're put there in place because you need them at that time. Okay? I was going through some things I was learning. And I came across a man who had been mocked on TV, Mr. David Icke. I started reading some of his stuff, watching some videos on YouTube about him and what he said. And I didn't take what he said. I listened, but I didn't believe him. Because my mind, yeah, like many of you, had been programmed not to listen to him. Because there's a program out there saying don't listen to this or that, and that's put there for a particular reason, because they don't want you to know the truth. These people who set up the system that we live in, this matrix that we're under, they don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to know that you're in a matrix to start. And then they don't want you to know that there are alternative lifestyles out there, alternative thinking that will free you from their control. They don't want that. So, how do they do that? Well, I'll start with the basics, really. Division is like the old famous one, goes back decades, centuries. Divide and rule. You, I'm a different god to you and you, and I'll get you fighting each other over this invisible man you're believing. Seems that these three have got the same name for the same invisible man, yet they all have different ideas. And then you get those within those three main religions, and they got subdivisions and more subdivisions. And as you go on further and further, there's more subdivisions. And why? Because while you're divided, you're easy to conquer. And a lot of people are waking up to this. And they keep you down, they keep you stupid, and they keep you scared. Because while you're dumb, and you're stupid, and you're scared, you're easier to control. And then what they do is they put in your mind, anybody else that tells you something different to what we're telling you is trying to con you. So believe in the system. And that's what teaches you to mock and take the mickey out of other people who are saying different things. Like Mr. Icke, for instance. He was mocked, made a fool of. Turns out he was right. Mr. Farage was mocked, made a fool of. Turned out he was right. Not on everything, but on some things. And this is the thing, you see. If you don't want dissent, you make a joke of it. You make them into a joke. Or, if you want to get rid of people, you have to first take their humanity away. Because it's harder to kill a fellow human than it is someone you don't see as human. So, with every army going back in time, first demonise the other side. First demonise the person that you want to attack. Then it's far easier because you don't see them as a human being, and you can kill them. Or you can be pressured into killing them. You know, during the Russian fight with the Nazis in the 40s, almost as many, if not more, Russians died from a bullet in the back from their own people, from their own generals and NCOs, than from the Nazis. There was no retreat, no surrender. So if you tried to go backwards, you get shot. This happened to British soldiers in the First World War and before. If you tried to retreat, you were called a coward and you got shot. And this is how it works. This is how the carnage, the sacrifice of life to their God of hate. This is a sacrifice of you to their God of hate. And they're hoping that if they give a big enough sacrifice, it saves those rulers. It sets them up. It's the great thing to Mammon, to give that ultimate sacrifice of life. And these days, they murder and abuse children, as well as their wars. This sick, disgusting elite who sit at the top and force everybody else to do what they want. But the thing is, we can just be as bad in being complicit, in agreeing to go along what they do, in not questioning. I've noticed quite recently, like people on TikTok and stuff, youngsters getting their brain together and saying, you want us to go, we're not going over to fight your wars for you. We're not going to give our lives up while you've surrendered our own country to foreigners. We're not even, our own country doesn't belong to us anymore. You're giving it away to these other people. We're not fighting some war for you. We might fight you. We might fight you to get our country back. But we're not fighting for you. We're fighting against you. And I love that. I think that's brilliant. I think that's finally people are starting to wake up and thinking, no, we are not your pawns anymore. And this is the thing. In 2024, a veil is dropping. Toto has grabbed the curtain, pulled it back, and shown that the Wizard of Oz is a pathetic little old man, using smoke and mirrors and tricks to scare everyone. And suddenly, it's not as bad as you think it is. Because all these people who are trying to rule the world are using deception to fool you. And once you notice that, then you notice the Matrix, then you know where you are, and then you think, right, I know what to do now. And you go off and you start finding things out for yourself. And eventually what happens is, like anybody who gets the keys to the jail, you open it, open the door, and you're free. You might not be physically in a free place, but mentally and spiritually, you are free. Anyway, this is the first of few, and I haven't done a video in a while, and this is the reason why. I've held back because I wanted to cover some subjects I've been really wanting to talk about, not just the normal things about camping or food and that sort of stuff. This is important. It needs to be said. And lots of people are now coming out and saying it. I'm joining the bandwagon if you want. Yeah, just jumping on the bandwagon like everybody else. Yeah, but better to do that and speak up and say about it than to keep quiet and allow the deception to carry on and being part of this deception and being part of the monster. Don't be part of the monster. Get out. I want to pick up a couple of people, so I'm just going to check my computer here. Been some stuff. I want to pick up Alan McClellan. What a top lad he is. Go and watch his videos. As a very straight young man who has got realisation. He's come through. He's on the journey. He's on the journey. That young man is coming through. I can see the light coming through now. Well done, Alan. You're doing a good job, mate. Keep it up. There are some others. I know this upsets someone. I think keeping up with Mr. Neil Oliver. I'm quite sure about him. I think he's a good guy. Quite sure. There's others that are on the periphery. Laura Nina, top girl. Check her out. Hi, Laura. Yeah, brilliant. There are others, popping up now all over the place. And just have a look. Just have a look. There's loads of people. You turn off that box in the corner that's been lying to you. Get your YouTube on or your Rumble or something, and start looking through. And get the people who are explaining things to you. Mr. Ike, of course, Mr. Ike. People are waking up. People are getting smart. And I want to pick up a few friends. Misty, Life of Misty, lovely person from Texas, very warm soul. Slim Twiggy in Canada, she's great. Chloe from down under, from Australia. Just trying to think of a other name. Chloe Ariel. What's it called? Soul Sessions. Yeah. Go and check her out. She's a nice girl. Shaz. Our Shaz. 73 from up north. From Cumbria. Good lass too. And there's lots of others. And I'll be dropping names all over the place when I go through them. I've been checking out Sonia Poulton. Not quite sure where I am with her yet. I haven't sussed her out. I kind of sussed out others. I might come to them later. I'm not sure about Mr. Brand. There are definite reservations about that guy. And Katie Hopkins, yeah, not sure about you as well. You come across well in a lot of things, and I think you got the right idea, but don't know, still not quite right. And Tommy Robinson as well, there's still that air about you, mate. And I know that you think you're in the right place, but there's something there. Isn't quite right yet. Don't know what it is. I'm not perfect either, so maybe I got it wrong, eh? Take care of yourselves. Know that the universe loves you. I do too. Because you count. We all count. And your vibrations soon will start going off like a bell. Because times are changing. 2024, the veil is coming down, and your vibrations that are in your head, in your body, in the atmosphere are going to change. And you're going to see things that you've never seen before. So look forward to it. It's all good. Go and check out Wild Bear. She's great. She does a lot of camping stuff, bushcraft, and she's a great lass. I'm trying to think of other people that I wanted to put on here. I'll do on the next one. And it's funny when you pick up the camera and you start talking, all that goes out your head. I want to do some books as well. I'll come back. So, but yeah, take care. Please like, subscribe, etc. Catch you soon. Probably quite soon. Till a bit.